Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. My week's off to a pretty good start. I've had an opportunity to spend some time with people who are near and dear to me and some who I haven't seen in quite some time. So had a beautiful visit with a lovely friend of mine who I haven't seen in person in quite a while today. And that was very wonderful, and I'm enjoying the interactions and the connections that I'm having with people lately, which is really nice. Because when you, for me, when I'm dealing with anxiety and depression and whatnot, it can be a real challenge to put myself out there and get out there and connect with people, even people who I know and I love and I trust. So it's a nice step forward for me to be at a place over the last couple of weeks where I've been able to thoroughly and genuinely enjoy those types of interactions. So hope your week is going well so far, and hope that you're still working towards being the best version of yourself that you can be, and healing whatever wounds you have to be healing, and with while being gentle and understanding with yourself, and knowing that there is no time limit on those processes. So today I've got a couple of different things. I mentioned last week that I have a lot of stuff that's sort of bouncing around inside of me right now, and I think a lot of that is kind of as you're cleaning your house. If you haven't cleaned your house in years, as you clean, you're going to kick up a lot of dirt and dust as you go, and it can almost feel overwhelming at times. And that's kind of, I think, how I'm feeling lately, is that I'm making progress, I'm moving forward, I'm healing, I'm cleaning up my house, but I'm also kicking up a lot of dust and dirt and finding a lot of stuff under old carpets and whatnot that hasn't been disturbed in a long time. No asbestos yet, but still going. And one thing that came up for me just recently, thanks to Facebook memories, some of you will maybe will have noticed that one. I saw a photo of me that I shared 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and I'm standing in an airport heading on my first adult vacation out of country to an all-inclusive resort, which was an amazing time. Thank you, Kelly, again. It was such a beautiful time and a beautiful wedding. But I see this picture of myself, and I'm looking at myself going like, wow, like, who is that guy? Like, young and fit. And I remembered in that moment, that just came rushing back to me, how ridiculously self-conscious I was of my body at that time. I thought I was fat and disgusting, and it was just going out on a beach in a bathing suit or out to the swimming pool. It took effort, and I'm not ashamed to admit it took a lot of alcohol too. I was pretty much drunk that entire trip. At where I created for myself the 2 tequila breakfast. And so before I even left my room in the morning, I did 2 shots of tequila. And looking back on it now, a big part of that was, I framed that at the time as fun, and I'm on vacation and I'm out here to have fun. But a big part of it was my self-image and my social anxiety. So I was self-medicating through that in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong, I was also there to have fun, and I had plenty of it. But it just clicked for me now, because I realized, like, I'm heavier than I was back then. I don't think I'm more out of shape. I'm actually probably in some of the best shape I've been in my life, physically, from a health perspective. But I am a bigger guy than I was back then, and I love myself more now than I did then. And I'm realizing too that the self-image stuff goes back even further. I remember I've always had a belly. I've always, even as a toddler, there's photos of me, and I've got this belly sticking out of my shirt, and I don't remember a time in my life where I wasn't self-conscious of that. I remember being told to suck my gut in at a very early age, and probably not with an awareness of what my body shape actually was, or how I was physically designed, and maybe I was just being lazy, but no, that's always been my body shape. My own children have a very similar body shape, and I've felt shame at myself over that over the years too. That sucks that they got that gene. But I'm realizing as I'm working through my healing that there is no right body shape. There is no right physique. There's healthy living and there's unhealthy living, and I've certainly partaken in both, more so the latter. But none of those things really had anything to do with my self-image issues. I hated my body for most of my life. And now looking back, I'm realizing that it didn't really have to do with how good I actually looked, because I see these pictures now and I'm like, damn, I was a good looking guy. I see pictures of me as a kid. I'm like, what a cute kid. But I remember having these feelings. I remember standing in front of the mirror as a young child and trying to suck in my gut, trying to figure out ways. I used to do sit-ups like crazy. At 6 years old, I was doing sit-ups and stomach crunches and exercises. Not a bad thing, but I think the reason I was doing it was dangerous in a sense that I was harming myself emotionally and spiritually. So that was a challenge for me for many years. I will admit it still is a challenge for me. I still have difficulty with my self-image, but it's less and less as time goes on, and the more I take care of myself and truly love myself. I used to think people would be like, well, you got to love yourself, you got to enjoy life, and yes, that is 100% true. But loving myself now, back then I would take that as an excuse to have another beer, have another serving of poutine, stuff myself full at the buffet till as Louis C.K. would put it, till I hate myself. That's not self-love. That's not taking care of yourself. That's not indulgence isn't necessarily, or overindulgence isn't necessarily self-love. And I'm realizing that now. Like, loving myself is enjoying a delicious salad. It's enjoying a good physical workout. It's enjoying pushing myself, pushing my limits, backcountry hiking and getting blisters on my toes and feeling like my feet are going to fall off and feeling like my shoulders are going to burn a hole through them from the straps on my pack. That's self-love, because I'm bettering myself. I'm accomplishing something. I'm becoming a better version of me. And I'm not loving myself more because I'm doing those things. I've realized this. I'm doing those things because I love myself more. And now, even though I'm heavier than I was back in that photo 11 years ago, even though I'm a little bit rounder than I was back in that photo 11 years ago, I see myself in the mirror and I love myself that much more, or on camera. And I love myself that much more. And it's a beautiful place to be. I'm not done yet. I'm not at the end of my journey, and I'm not going to preach like I know what that is, because I don't. I'm still working through it, and I still have plenty of days where I hate myself and I don't want to go out in public, whether that's my outside image or my inside one, or both. But I'm making progress, and I'm experiencing things that I don't remember ever experiencing, except for maybe at a very young age. And that's a pretty nice thing to be experiencing. So that's what I have for you today. If you're struggling with self-worth, self-image issues, try loving yourself a little bit more. And that means not by overindulgence, not by harming yourself. Try loving yourself in a caring, truly loving way. Love yourself the way you would love your child, or a close friend or loved one. Give yourself the care that you would give to them, because you deserve it and you're worth it. And we're all in this together. So thank you so much for watching again. Hope there was something there for you. Please do, if there is something here for you, hit subscribe, click the little bell to receive alerts for when a new video is posted, and share. Send these messages out to the world, get them around to people. They're simple, they're not new. There's nothing here that hasn't been said before, but maybe there's a tone and a pitch that resonates with somebody who's heard it and hasn't accepted it. So thank you again, and I will see you next Tuesday.